What's the odds Abel didn't bring a long sleeve shirt?
Pretty good, I would say.
I'm gonna say 90%. What's the odds you didn't bring a long sleeve shirt with you tonight?
I got one.
Oh.
I don't need it.
I mean, it's not dark yet.
Just for pussies.
Pussies and planners wear fucking clothes that are warm enough.
Neither of those things.
The mustache and the hair, you got a fucking definite good look. If you can ever grow the goatee back, 6 months from now.
It'll take a few months, but it'll come back. It was probably like 3 or 4 inches long. Like my wiener. Hey, same one? She had a 3 or 4 inch wiener, dude. That'd be fucking dope. Right?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Circus Moto. I've been away for a while, but I'm back. Man, I gotta tell you, life has just been getting in the way of my moto vlogging career, if you want to call it that. Between, you know, it being winter time in the Pacific Northwest and just having shitty weather that you can't really ride in, and you know, COVID and unprecedented busyness at my real job. I've been in charge of some pretty major projects lately that really required all of my attention. I just did not have time to be messing with this. Kind of over the hump on some of those projects now and can start putting some of my focus back into my hobbies, such as making these videos. Hopefully the sound's coming out on this all right. I'm filming it on my new GoPro Hero 9 with the media mod. Not real sure how to do all the functions on this thing yet. You know, it's got dual microphones on this media mod, and from what I understood, you could leave both microphones on, front and back, or you can put the microphone, only the front microphone, so it's only filming or only capturing audio from, you know, whatever is in front of the camera, or vice versa. You could switch it just to the back one. So say I'm walking around filming and I'm talking over it and want my voice to be heard, you know, the rear microphone would be on. I'm not sure what setting I'm in right now, so hopefully this audio turns out worth a shit and is usable in my video. Coming at you from the car right now. I'm actually on the way out to the farm to go on a quick rip on the bike. It's been a while since I put any real miles down. Recently, as in last weekend, I did some mods to the Kawasaki Vulcan, the Chopasaki as we've come to call it in our little riding group of friends. So the Chopasaki recent upgrades were new high flow air intake by Cobra, new fuel programmer also by Cobra. It's the FI 2000 fuel programmer. It connects in line with the wiring stuff that's already there for my fuel injection on my bike. It was pretty simple install. I'll show some of that a little bit later. And I bought me some new exhaust. I went with the Freedom Performance 2-in-1 exhaust. Kind of the Dynabro look to the Vulcan. It looks good. It sounds great. I'm really stoked to see what kind of performance gains I'm going to get from this. The attempt was, instead of buying a new big bike and spending all my money on, you know, a larger motorcycle, you know, I'm a large guy. I'm 6'2", 300 pounds, and I ride a 900. It's, in this day and age, a fairly small displacement bike, but I love it. The thing's super comfortable, does everything I want, and I've often said I'd rather ride fast on a slow bike than get a bike that's, you know, pure muscle and you know, I don't feel as comfortable riding on. Not that that would be the case. I'm pretty much comfortable on anything I throw a leg over, but I just happen to love this Vulcan. I mean, Kawasaki makes a great bike. So the goal was to just squeeze out as much fucking power as I could get out of this bike. And I think, you know, without doing anything just completely radical and overpriced and insane, which this was bad enough price-wise. I'll link, Jesus, I'm spitting while I talk. I will provide links down below in the description for everything I purchased. You know, I hear it's great. Everything I read online says it's good. Guys that I know that have similar setups on their Harleys love it. I'm excited. I'm excited to go out and let it rip a little bit today. When I put it on over the weekend, you know, I think it was the day before Easter, just had a lot of shit going on and did not have really any time to go out and ride the thing after I did the mods. You know, I did the obligatory fire it up in the garage and hit the rev limiter and laugh my ass off because I'd been drinking, but no real rides. So I'm stoked. I'm looking forward to ride. That's about it. Like I said, I've been off for a while, off of YouTube for a while. Man, I don't know about the rest of you, but you know, seasonal depression is a real thing, especially when you live up here where it rains all winter and you can't go do the thing that, you know, brings you some of the most joy in your life, which is riding motorcycles. I already battle with clinical depression as it is, so sometimes, you know, things just stack up, and that's kind of where my mental state's been over the last few months. You know, just so fully focused on work that didn't have a ton of time to spend with my family. You know, with COVID still going on and limiting group contact, you know, there hasn't been a lot of hanging out with friends or going out to bars or, you know, going on any larger group rides. A lot of things have been canceled lately that are the sort of the early season riding events around here. But it's spring now and the weather's getting nicer, and it's time to get back on two wheels. Other than that, the only other things new to me is I'm assuming the last video I made, I probably had a bald head and no facial hair. So part of my seasonal boredom was growing some facial hair out. I recently had to shave off my goatee. I had a pretty decent goatee going. I had to shave it off because we just did a huge shutdown project at work where we needed to wear full face respirators, and they won't seal if you have facial hair. So I talked the crew into shaving mustaches, and I left this, and now I've got this sort of ridiculous dastardly Dan mustache look going on. The wife hates it. I kind of like it. I mean, whatever. What do I give a shit what my facial hair looks like? It's just something to do for a while. And to be honest, I kind of like annoying her. It's fun for me. I don't know why. That's a little juvenile, but I mean, I think everybody likes to mess with their girlfriend or their wife once in a while, or vice versa. You know, do something that kind of irritates them a little bit. Nothing major, nothing serious, but she's complaining when we kiss, my mustache hair gets in her mouth. And I'm like, what do you think I'm dealing with? I'm constantly doing this all day to keep it out of my mouth. The biggest problem with doing your mustache like this right now is I'll get up in the morning and I'll shower, do my hair, do whatever, get ready for work, and I wax out my mustache and I think everything's looking a-okay. And then I put a fucking face mask on and breathe hot air into it all day, and all the wax melts and it just ends up looking like shit at the end of the day anyway. Luckily for me, I don't really care what other people think I look like. So all in all, it's just real life's been getting in the way of making these videos. That's about to change. I'll talk to you guys later. See if the door's open. We're in luck. And there's the bikes. There's been a lot of work going on out here at the farm, so as you can see, it's not in sort of the usual
work mode that we normally have. Gonna have to clean it up pretty soon. Eric's gonna start getting pissed if I keep coming over here and working on my bike and leaving my shit around. You guys haven't seen progress on the chopper for a while. We, in case we didn't cover it before, we picked up this aftermarket Harley Springer front end for it. Slightly used. I think I'm gonna go with a different wheel on that. I know choppers look cool with no front brakes, but I want at least a little bit of front braking power. Recently picked up these 16-inch ape hangers, put them on these fancy schmancy, I think they're cool looking, these little stainless steel 2-inch risers, so we're about 18 inches up total. Man, again, life's been getting in the way, and we've had a hard time making time to work on this damn thing. But we'll get back to it soon. And here's where the frustration kicked in. Had a lot of trouble getting the footage from my iPhone to download onto my PC for some reason. Every time I do it, it's a total pain in the ass. So here is a look at the final product. God damn, 80 degrees in mid-April. I'll take it. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about some of the new gear that I've got lately, and some of the new parts I put on the Kawasaki here. Let's start with the bike. So a couple weeks ago, I went ahead and did a stage 1. I added a new high flow intake, a new Freedom Performance 2-in-1 exhaust, and the Cobra Power Pro Black fuel tuner. My initial thoughts so far after, you know, riding, I haven't really like ridden it every day in the last couple weeks. I've ridden it a few times. I've probably put, I don't know, 150 miles on the bike since I added all that shit. And initial thoughts, it's all right. I definitely feel a different throttle response. Whether or not it is better is yet to be determined, but I definitely have more power at the top end of the power band. I can definitely tell there's been an overall horsepower increase. The issue that's not thrilling me right now is that added horsepower seems to have come at the cost of torque at the low end. And you know, it's a Kawasaki, it's 900 cc's. It's not like it was a real torque monster to begin with. I thought this might help with both horsepower and torque from things I had read online. So far, I am not impressed with the torque. When I first, gross, bug just splattered on my arm. When I first start the bike up and get going, you know, first and second gear feel slightly more gutless than they did before. And there's almost like a little dead spot in the power band. It almost feels like the engine has a slight miss at one point, and then once it kind of gets past that point, it goes like hell. I mean, it'll really get going in the higher RPMs. I'm not sure if the little computer, you know, just still needs more time to kind of learn riding habits, or if the little computer kind of resets every time I turn the bike off, and so therefore it's kind of relearning every time I get going again. I don't know. I haven't really messed with trying to fine-tune it yet, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I mean, it's kind of why I went with the Cobra Power Pro. It's supposed to be kind of a plug-and-play option that is making, you know, like 80 adjustments a second or some crazy shit like that while you ride. And you know, I'm not disappointed in the work I did. The highway cruising speeds, it definitely feels like the bike's a little smoother at higher speeds. It has a little more pep. If I go to roll on, you know, the throttle to go around somebody or whatever, if I'm going highway speed. But it definitely seems like the bike is craving a little higher RPMs than I was riding stock. Maybe it's just something I need to get used to. If you've done a mod like this to your bike, if you've put one of these Cobra Power Pro, you know, it's the Cobra Power Pro Black or something like that. Cobra FI 2000, I believe, is the model number, the Cobra FI 2000. If you've done something like this to your bike, especially if you're riding a metric bike, drop me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts were when you did the change. I want to know if you know, if I got something that's just not quite right, or if I just need to have more patience, or if I need to get in there and change some settings, or what. I mean, there is an app that I can put on the phone, and it'll, you know, bring up the controls for the little computer, and I can make tweaks and everything. And you know, I was trying to get away with not having to do that, since, you know, that's not my forte at all. Moving on, other than being a little on the fence about performance, it still definitely has some D-cell pop. I heard, or I shouldn't say I heard, I read that putting this programmer on helps control that D-cell pop, helps get rid of it a little bit. I haven't really noticed. It still has some D-cell pop. It doesn't bother me. I don't know, kind of sounds cool to me. I might be in the minority there, but you know, when you hear that cool backfire, you know, as you're letting off, it don't bother me. I kind of dig it. Plus, the bike just looks dope as hell with the new pipe on it. This 2-in-1 by Freedom Performance, if nothing else, it looks sick. I mean, the thing looks great. So, that part of it I'm digging. I think the bike looks better with this Cobra intake than with the stock. The stock one was kind of, you know, it wasn't all that pretty. Let's see, what else have I done lately? This camera here, this GoPro Hero 9 that I mounted right there, so far so good. The thing's been cool as hell. I put the media mod on it. I haven't used it a ton. I did go ahead and put everything on like kind of quick detach mounts that I can easily pull off of here. And ooh, I better pay attention to what I'm doing and ride somebody's ass. I wanted to make it easy to take this thing off of the handlebars, throw it on one of my tripods that I carry in my saddlebags, or my selfie stick, anything like that, where I want to pull this off and do some filming. I'm going to kind of use this as my main camera. I don't carry a DSLR camera or anything like that. I don't know. I don't need that professional of footage, I guess. GoPro and my iPhone, those cameras they're fine for me. I'm not making big blockbuster cinema. So anyhow, one of the other things that I wanted to talk about was these new gloves. Now, these are made by Odin Manufacturing. I believe it's a Canadian company. These things are legit as hell. I bought some that are sort of I think they call them like Street MX. They're more of a motocross inspired type of glove. It's got a full leather palm. You know, it's a pretty substantial leather palm to the thing. The backside is there's no protection there. If I crash, I'm gonna go palms down. Obviously, I'm not going to drag my knuckles on the ground if I'm skidding. hopefully. Other than that, these are going to be great summer gloves. In this warm weather, they breathe really nice. My hands aren't like hot. They're definitely not a cold weather glove. I won't even attempt to wear them when it's cold outside. I'll just freeze my digits, and that's no good. A couple of the things I really dig about them: one, they've got these little finger pull-outs. I don't know if you can see that. You just pull the little tab. They got one on the thumb as well. And your touchscreen devices like my phone, you know, if I'm playing music up into my Cardo, and you know, I want to fire up Pandora or something, I can get on my phone, you know, with this. This works a hell of a lot better than gloves that are quote unquote you know, touchscreen friendly. They never seem to work all that great. This is a much better option. They're comfortable. They're just a tiny bit smaller than I had hoped. I bought larges. I have fairly dainty lady hands. They're a little bit snug, but I can definitely tell after wearing them a couple times, they're definitely starting to break in, and you know, feel like they're just becoming more and more something that I don't even notice. So hopefully they continue to break in, and I can't even tell they're on anymore. The other thing that's really, really cool about them, and I don't know why other motorcycle glove manufacturers are not doing this, right there on the wrist, right there, there's a little magnet in there. If you're like me, you pull in somewhere and you take your gloves off and you throw them down on your tank, you know, a gust of wind, or you just aren't careful and the things fall off, they're on the ground, and hopefully you don't totally completely lose one doing that. With the magnets, you throw them down the tank, they stick. It's fucking awesome. Other glove manufacturers, start putting magnets in your gloves, you asshole. Do it. Put magnets in. What could that cost you? Hardly anything. Put magnets in your gloves, other manufacturers. If you're interested in some Odin gloves, I'll leave a link down in the description. I bought these. I don't get paid to pimp Odin out. You know, they didn't send these to me for free. I actually learned about them by watching another moto vlogger. I don't know if you guys know Shade Tree Surgeon down in Tampa, Florida. If you haven't checked out Shade Tree Surgeon, I highly suggest you get on YouTube and look him up. He makes really entertaining videos. He's kind of a how does he describe himself? Like a greasy swamp wizard or something. I don't know. He's just a big, hairy, crazy guy that does a lot of riding, does a lot of motorcycle content, and he's down in Tampa, Florida. And I find his videos entertaining as hell. So check him out. He's one of the big inspirations that I had to start trying to do this myself. I got a long way to go before I catch up to you know, his viewership or his ability to make decent content. You know, I'm still learning. My apologies for the long lapse between videos that it's been. Between winter, COVID, all that, and just my Jesus Christ, just turn in there, never mind that fucking curb. God, people drive like shit. Man, that kind of stupid shit just makes me completely lose my train of thought. Anyway, we're gonna keep riding along, and if you like the content you're seeing, do me a favor. Why don't you click like, give it that thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the little bell, do all that, and really helps my channel out a lot. If there's any type of content that you want to see, drop a comment down below. You know, I love to hear from viewers, and it's always nice to come up with fresh ideas from other people. Anyway, talk to you later.